Good morning with everyone. I'm going to talk about an important topic for us. First of all, imagine you are a teenager in Japan. You are playing an online video game with a student from Brazil and a graphic designer from Germany. What language do you think they use to talk each other? Almost certainly, they are speaking English, right? Today, I want to talk about a fascinating topic: how the internet accelerated English as a global lingua franca. First of all, what is a lingua franca? Lingua franca is a common language used by people whose native language are different. In other words, while English was already a very popular language before the computers were invented, the internet acted like a rocket fuel. It used English to every corner of the globe. In the next 10 minutes, we will look at three main reasons for this. The reasons are the first of all, the history of internet technology, second, the power of social media, and the third was the rise of global business and education. The point number one is the history on the internet. To start with this point, I uh, I wish to start with the story. First of all, the question is why English? Why not Spanish, Mandarin, or French? And the answer is simple. The internet was mostly invented in English speaking countries. These countries are especially the United States and the United Kingdom or UK. Uh, and do you think or do you know these countries? So, in the 1960s and 70s, the early networks that became in the internet, like ARPANET, were built by American scientists. Because of this, the first computer codes and programming language were based on English alphabet. Were you ever heard about the ASCII code? Do you heard about the ASCII code? So it is the standard way of the computer read text. When it was created, it only included the unison English alphabet. For many years, you couldn't easily type a word, a specific word of Spanish, may call it like ñ, or a French like I, in internet servers because the technology itself was built only in English. The first millions of web pages were also in English as a result. If you want to use in the internet, you must to find information that you had to know some English. Even today, researchers estimate that more than 50% of the most visited websites in the world are written in English, even though native English speakers make up only about the 5% of the world's population. The foundation of the digital house was built only in English bricks. Do you think about the digital house only built in English? But I'm going to talk about the second point. The second point is about the social media and the pop culture. I talk about something we all use every day, and this is interesting topic because involves the social networks and the culture of the people. Where the internet shifted from the basic web page to interactive platforms like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, something amazing happened. The internet became a global that includes of the world conversation. So in other words, think about internet memes, popular TikTok trends, or viral YouTube videos. And in this content, the fairest way for a creator to get millions of views is make to their content in English. Why? English has become the written language of the internet. Let me give you a practical application of this theory for you can understand me. Many young people today don't learn English just from textbook in school. They learn it naturally because they want to understand the favorite streamer, read comments on a funny video, or listen the global popular music. So here the internet provides the constantly daily exposure. Um, its exposure is to a English language through the content they share and create. In the past, to hear native English, you have to travel to UK or the United States, or buy expensive movie tickets for a word only English that is in common in a Latin country. Today, a kind with a smartphone in a remote village has access to millions of hours of spoken English. The internet didn't just make English popular, it made it accessible to everyone. The point number three is the global business and education. Finally, let us look at a business and education that is interesting, but talk about the situation of English like lingua franca in nowadays. Uh, the internet created a global economy. That means that today a company in India can easily sell software to a hospital in France. To do this, they need a common language. Do you remember that I said that English is a bridge? English has become the default language of online business now. If you want to work remotely for a major international company, speaking English is no longer just a bonus. The skill of speaking English is often a strict requirement. Websites like LinkedIn are filled with a job posting that connect people across the borders to one border or another border, and the language of these interviews almost always in English. Furthermore, think about education. Okay, the internet gave rise to a massive open online course. One example, the platforms like Coursera or edX, um, and far away, the world's top universities like Harvard or Oxford put their classes online. The vast majority of world scientific research and academic literature published online is in English. If you want to learn the newest information in medicine, in learning, or technology, the internet delivers that information, but that information has delivered first of all in English, right? Now, with all of this, I made a conclusion, and I want to return the starting position. And to summarize, the internet and the English language grew up together. Grew up together like a person and a world with a globalization. Why this? Because the internet was invented in English, first of all. It was built with an English code and used by a global network of social media. Uh, Includes all of your users and all of your business. These people and business accelerated English into ultimate global lingua franca. Now, will it stay this way forever? With a new artificial intelligence tool, this tool can translate language instantly. It causes that maybe in the future will be different. Maybe one day will the people speak a native or language or a different language online, and the computer or artificial intelligence translating instantly for us. But for now, the internet has connected humanity like a giant spider web, and the primary language traveling along those digital trends are English. Hmm? So that's all for today. Thanks you for your time and your attention.